live with the new setup. I didn't make myself big, but now I did. There you
Kill
go.
your fan.
Kill my fan. Oh yeah. Time to be hot and sweaty for an hour, but just for you people,
Just for the folks.
just for the folks at home.
Just for all 10 of you that watch the podcast, Anthony's willing to sweat like a slave in a box.
Exactly.
And I appreciate you for this. Anthony, what it do? It's episode 262, Love and Jokes podcast. I'm secretly watching UFC 250 on my laptop on a link that I totally paid for
Yeah.
as we do this podcast. I'm excited about this UFC card. It's underway, hence I'm watching it. So we can't give predictions in the traditional way where you go from the very top, the very bottom of the card to the very top of the card. What we can do, however, is talk about the main card because it hasn't begun yet. So, UFC 250, Anthony, I think this is a fucking stacked main card.
Yeah. Why so?
You agree? You concur?
I do agree, but I am also distracted. So keep talking. Keep
I'm
talking.
looking forward to a couple of these fights. The very first fight of the night, I'm super, super excited for. It's going to be Sugar Sean O'Malley versus Eddie Wineland. And Eddie, it's the fucking old story, really. It's like young buck against the old wily veteran, you know?
Mm-hmm.
And one would think that as I resemble the wily veteran more, right? that perhaps I would do some projection and favor Mr. Wineland. But I do not. I do not. I want to see Sugar Sean O'Malley get this victory because Eddie Wineland's one of those guys who's an established name, and that could really build his career. A loss to Sean O'Malley doesn't necessarily damage Eddie the same way a loss could derail Sean. So I like it when guys have that train behind them, you know? I like when everything's going their way. So I would like to see that fight turn out the right way. In other news, another fight I'd like to see turn the right way, and it's going to be second in the prelims, not the early prelims, but the standard prelims, is Cody Stamann has a very tough fight against Brian Kelleher. But Cody's had to go through some things, some personal things, some family things, and I've seen him in the gym working, and you can tell that something has happened, but he works as if nothing has happened.
Yeah.
And it's tremendous to see, and it's inspirational to see. And though this isn't a true pick, I will just be straight like Scout's honor. The fight has not taken place yet. I'm not like I want to see him win by knockout, like by brutal knockout, and have him celebrate something, because he deserves to celebrate something during a very tough time. So yes, what do you think about that Sugar Sean and Eddie Wineland matchup?
You know what? I kind of think, like I said before, is that if Eddie Wineland does what he normally does, which is like kind of stands up, loads up his shots, kind of especially for that spinning back kick that he throws that's like vicious. I think that Sean O'Malley will probably dance around him and probably leg kick him up and then take him down and kind of choke him out.
Oh,
Yeah, like I think he's gonna go.
you see a jiu-jitsu finish.
I see him. If he's not teeing him up on the feet, I see him just making him crumble to the ground, and he takes him down.
It could happen this way.
Yeah.
It could happen this way. Like there's a fight actually on the main event of the prelim. Is Chase Hooper versus Bruce Leroy. And I could see Chase doing a similar thing. Just like staying away, wrapping him up, bringing him to the floor, finishing him with a choke.
Yeah.
In fact, I think that's how he has to win. And I'd like to see that because, you know, we were grocery store homies for a second.
Oh, yeah.
The person that stands next to you, not behind you or in front of you, the person who stands next to you in the grocery store, that's your grocery store homie. And, like, it's more important now than ever, now that we have to stand on these fucking dots everywhere we go. You know what I mean? Like, you know what, Anthony, let me share with you an experience that I had today.
Yeah.
Oh, yes, Anthony. Because you already know that we were supposed to start the podcast a little earlier than this.
Mm-hmm.
And we did not because I was out and about running errands. What I was doing was I was getting, like, just like we had at the academy, like that mop and bucket set.
Yeah.
I wanted a mop and bucket set for our tiny academy in our garage. And so I was like, all right, I'll go and get that. Costco did not carry it. So I went to Costco, and when I get there, we open the doors, and one of my friends goes, oh shit, we have to have masks to get in.
Yes.
Now, have you had to wear a mask yet?
Yeah.
Okay. What's your experience when you're wearing it? What do you think about? How does it feel?
I don't really think about it. I'm like honestly, it's like one of those things where I just have it with me because now I'm like, I don't have to look stupid. Like I literally went to a bagel store today with my girlfriend, and we walked in, and I'm like, hey, I have my mask. You should probably grab your mask out of the car before we go inside. She's like, we don't think we need it. I'm like, no, we need it. Trust me. Watch this. As soon as we walk up, we had our mask on. They're like, hey, you guys need masks to come in. Like, cool, we got ours. Good, you guys can go in. Two people behind us try to get in. You don't have any masks. They got us way outside. Like, remember when you were a kid and you had to ask an adult to buy you cigarettes because you didn't look like you were old enough?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's exactly what it looked like right there. Like, hey, can you get me a bagel because I don't have I wasn't prepared today. So I'm all for just having a mask and wearing it if somebody asks me to, because it's the least I can do is make you feel comfortable in your business and make you want to make money.
So I don't think you're wrong in any way, because I had a mask in my pocket for that very reason, just in case we came across a situation where someone insisted that I wear one.
Yeah.
But it makes me super uncomfortable. Like, I don't like it.
Why?
And it's not just the physical shit. It makes me think like weirdo, doomsday, conspiracy theory shit that I don't want to think. Like, I just can't help it. I can't fucking help it. When I looked around and I saw everybody in their masks walking around, I was like, none of us know if this is doing anything. We are just complying. And it's not like we should or shouldn't. That's not what I'm arguing. I'm just observing that with very little information, only direction, we all fucking followed. And people like to talk about how fucking outspoken and how single-minded and how independent they are. But the second you're told to do something, you're very willing to accept that you have to do it, myself included. I had the fucking mask in my pocket, Yeah. Like, I'm not saying that I'm above this. Like, it was hard not to think of things like The Wall by Pink Floyd when I'm walking down these aisles and I see everybody in their masks. It was difficult not to think those thoughts for me. And I didn't like it. I like stores where it's optional. I like it when, if it will make you feel more comfortable to do it, do it. And I keep social distance for other reasons other than social distancing. Like, just because I like personal space.
Yeah.
So, like, I've been doing that. I was never going to be on your back if we were in a line. I would always hang back a little bit just so you never feel like I'm that fucking close to you. So you never have to look over your shoulder and say, is this guy reading my text messages? Like, why? Like, what is this guy doing? Like, you would never have to think that, because I would keep distance just because I would think I was respecting your humanity, your privacy, and your space. Not because I was worried that if I cough on you, you might have a fucking conniption. Do you know what I'm saying?
Right.
So that's all. Like, it's not that I actually think that there's some crazy thing going on. It's not, but like, there's a part of me that has like one of those brains that'll start to go on an idea and it'll snowball in my mind. And like, when I'm looking around and everyone's so compliant, I was so happy I saw this old Hispanic lady like look at somebody and just take her mask off and shake her head. And I was like, someone is still a fucking maverick around here. Somebody still doesn't give a fuck. And that made me happy. Like, it wasn't some like brash dude walking around. It was an old lady who was uncomfortable and listened to her body. She was like, you know what? Like, I'm going to fucking pull this down under my chin and sit down on this couch and talk to my family about whether we should buy it or not. She wasn't fucking worried about shit.
Yeah.
And I didn't stick around very long, but nobody that I saw bothered her about it, which I also enjoyed.
Yeah.
So yeah, like I'm saying, it's not that I don't think these things are important, or I have very little opinion on it, because I know that I don't know anything. I know that I'm not highly educated on the nature of viruses and how dangerous they are. Right? I don't know. I just know that that I'm not alone in not knowing. I know that. And I know that we've been easily taught how to behave during these times. And that's interesting to me, just as an observer.
But you're not an observer. You are a part of it.
I know I'm a fucking participant. I'm just saying, when I put myself in that state of mind, when I was like, wow, just pull back a little bit, what do you see? You see how quickly people will conform to what they're told to do as long as they're given the things that they want. So, like, I want to go to Costco. Well, to get in, you got to have a mask. Okay, but can I still buy all the things I want? Yes. Okay, cool. I'll wear a mask. Like,
Yeah.
It seems odd to say this at a time where there are literally riots in the streets about something else, but I expected there to be riots in the streets about this from day one. From day one. The second there was any change in protocol in anyone's daily schedule that had nothing to do with what they wanted, I thought shit was going to get ugly, and shit would get ugly fast. I'm happy that I was wrong.
Yeah, it's weird. It's almost like
it's we haven't talked about it all that much, which is the only reason I'm indulging it a little bit right now. Is like I've tried to do my best to stay off these topics. I feel like they're being covered by everyone else in the whole world, and everybody knows everyone's opinion on it now. But yeah, I hadn't been in a situation that public where it was enforced, where you must.
yeah.
That was my first experience with you must. And I honestly, I did not care for it, bro. I did not care for it. I didn't make a big deal out of it. I just put the mask on and smiled underneath it. And then when I started getting overwhelmed, and that did start happening, actually,
Yeah.
I did start to get actually like overwhelmed and upset. I just started singing to myself really quietly as I walked around. Like, I just used the tools that I use not to go crazy, to make sure that I didn't do anything stupid.
I understand.
Or even raise my voice at a stranger. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I don't like when I feel tight like that, because then like aspects of me that I've been working hard to beat can just jump right up, kick me in the dick. Do you hear that noise?
I do. Don't know what it is.
Okay. I don't know what it is either, but I want to murder it.
Is that better?
No, it's the same.
It's the same. Okay.
Yeah, but that helps me stop talking about that. You know, it seems to be pausing. It seems to be coming in and out. But yeah, that helps me when I stop talking about that. So that's not so bad. I'm slightly grateful for that annoying noise right now.
Yeah. All right, that's good. Well, we could talk about.
But we have no idea what it is.
I have little bit idea of it's some type of feedback from the machine, from the board, I'm guessing, or from some of the cords. So I have to go back and just make sure they're not touching again later today.
Okay.
Yeah. It's probably my
Do you
guess.
think that this is affecting the experience of others, or just my experience?
I don't know, honestly.
It's over. It has stopped.
It's gone.
It has stopped. So
Okay.
who cares?
All right.
So, what's the next fight on the card after Shane O'Malley? Or Sean O'Malley?
Sean O'Malley. Let's see.
Also, the fight that's happening right now, by the way, Anthony, which I'm pretending not to watch, is fucking amazing.
Is it really? Let's see.
Yes.
Neil Magny.
And it's about to be over. The black dude just fell down. He wants out of there. But the referee is not letting him get out. Now it's over. Herb Dean let him get beat down like that. Like, that was black. That was a black man letting another black man get beaten.
Was it the first round or
on
second
TV.
round?
Second round.
Second round, okay. It's over. So he's got.
Right now, Herb Dean got to go post Black Lives Matter. People are going to get upset with him. People are going to be like...
So silly. So silly.
You better make a post, Herb. You better talk about how that's your brother and how, like...
That's so ridiculous.
You respect him.
So ridiculous.
Stand strong, black man. My faith in the black man, let me get him, let me get his ass whooped like that.
So
I just
silly.
thought, hey, he can take it. He's black. He's very strong. Yeah, that guy took a bad beating at the very end of that. Many unanswered shots, if you will. Many unanswered shots. They're showing the replay right now. I'm going to count the unanswered shots in this fight for you. All right, so he's about to go down. He's thinking about going down right now. Then there's a shot where it's a body shot that really gets him. Ooh, he gets turned to the body hard. Then there's some elbows. man, he's getting the business.
It's getting hurts.
Then he just kind of like, oh, he did get tripped. He hit him with a judo throw and dropped him, and then he doesn't move. He takes at least 10. I'd say upwards of 12 unanswered fucking kushmooshes to the head while on the ground before Herb stepped in and said, "Yo, you're not really improving here." How many kushmooshes to the head do you think are reasonable to take? Like kushmoosh.
Whoa, that was weird. How many?
It's all right. It's all right.
How many kushmooshes? I think.
Kushmooshes.
I think if you're so, what do you mean? Like so, in like what scenario? Like if you're just sitting there getting punishment, or if you're trying to.
You're turtle.
You're turtle.
Right? The person at the bottom is turtled. I control the hip, and I'm smash. Not the jerk off punches, right?
Right.
Not the same length of my wrist moving, like as if I were jerking my dick,
There
right?
you go.
But if I'm fucking hammering a giant railroad spike into the ground with your head, if I'm pounding in a railroad spike, how many of those until Herb Dean needs to get over there and yank this guy off of this black dude?
Is he trying to stand up?
No.
Okay, then I say
He's covering, but he's not trying to improve.
I'd say after 3, you gotta ask him a question or two, like, "Hey man, what's going on?" And then after like 2 more, it's like, "All right, it's over." It's like a strategy.
See, that's how I feel.
Yeah.
Now I don't know why 3 is a magical number when it comes to this, right?
It's a
But
story.
if you hit the floor, and I hit you in your motherfucking head 3 hard times, and you don't do shit, I could be like, you gotta get out of there. And if you don't get out of there or show me something excellent in the next beat of the fight, I think it's reasonable to stop it. If your head's coming up, you're getting base, you're getting posture, then okay, you have an argument. But if you're just there, man. But then again, it's hard though, right? Because these shots are happening quickly. So luckily, I don't have to be standing there being judged like Herb Dean about when to stop a fight. I will, however, be judged next weekend because those mics are going to be on us, and the arena is quiet as fuck. So everyone's going to know who said what, and like, I look forward to these things. I like accountability when it comes to mat side coaching. I've been quieter in the camp than normal, mainly because I've been trying to pick up on cues. Like, we haven't spent not enough. We haven't spent as much time as we are used to spending for a camp together, right? Just because of the nature of this, because like the gym was closed for a good portion of the camp. The gym just opened this week, right? So like, it's been a strange time. So like when Eric talks, I try to just shut the fuck up and listen to what he's saying so that I can pick up on things that on fight night, I'm going to have to parrot in a different tone and a different phrase with the same important language, right? To make sure that a point gets across if it doesn't get across the very first time, like shit like that. But, so I don't know, like, I look forward to having that mic on my chest and fucking shouting it into the mic and shouting into the fucking cage and shouting into the arena and making sure that my homegirl gets her hand raised after 5 hard rounds of work. She looks amazing right now, by the way. I wouldn't want to be walking across the cage and seeing that chick coming at me. She's smiling in the corner and shit. You don't want no parts of that. Like today, I said, or maybe it was yesterday, I said a smiling evil is a fucking dangerous evil. Like you don't want that bitch smiling at you. She was smiling in the last fight. She was smiling at that girl. Round 3, she's looking across at her, punching her in the face, smiling at her. You don't want to see that.
Right.
You don't want them kind of problems. I don't want them fucking problems.
It's tough.
If I was a 115 pounder coming up, I would want them problems for sure. So I look forward to seeing Jessica do her work. But yeah, this fight was back and forth in that first round. They had a lot of, the one that's just airing right now, they had a lot of grappling exchanges, Anthony. It's worth watching. Let me see if I can find their names for you.
Oh, I know what they are.
So you can never, you know who they are? Tell the audience.
Charles Bird and Maki Pitolo.
That is correct. That is the fight that we're talking about. And obviously Maki from Hawaii, he's got the flag tied around his shoulders right now like he's Superman. He's feeling himself. Good for him.
Of course.
That was a strong win.
Of
a strong win. And in these situations, you're the only live sport. Like, you're the only thing that a fan can watch right now. If you like watching sports on your Saturday, and it is this time of year, it's June, what would you have? You would have basketball. You know what? Is this the is this around the time of the fucking NBA finals?
I don't know. I probably would say close to it. I'd
It's
say.
I feel like it's playoff time. I feel like the NBA season would be at a very, very important peak right now.
Yeah,
And you don't have that as a sports fan.
it would have.
So if you're a sports fan, you don't have your NBA.
Yeah.
You don't have fucking baseball. So what are you gonna watch?
I think hockey's coming back soon.
You're watching the goddamn UFC, and the people that are watching the UFC are about to watch Cody Stamann, and I really hope that he has a good day today. He's got a tough fight. Brian Kelleher is no fucking joke, but it's something that he can do, and I hope he does it. Let's keep going up that main card, Anthony.
All right, the main card. So we
Keep
have.
climbing that main card.
We have. We can talk about Neil Magny versus Anthony Rocco Martin.
All right, so I don't know anything about Mr. Rocco Martin.
Rocco.
Do you?
No idea. Let's look him up real
I
quick.
know that I want to see Neil Magny win, though.
We'd all like to see the Gazelle win.
We all?
Everybody like to see.
Does he have fans?
The Gazelle? Yeah, of course.
That's awesome. I'm not aware. I really haven't been paying attention to the men who I'm not like super into. So like I know what's going on with Connor. You know what I'm saying? Like I know, but like besides that, I've been watching this Cynthia chick in my bed on my phone.
Yeah.
And yeah, and then Pro Wrestling to Decompress.
Well,
I've been watching like so I have no idea what Neil's ranked right now. I don't know who Mr. Martin is.
well, I can tell you.
But I do like Neil Magny.
Oh, I have my best performances on last bout of contract. Ooh, interesting. This is Rocco Martin's last fight on his contract. So I guess he's fighting out his contract.
So he sees it like it's a job interview.
Yeah.
He's like, look, Dana, give me a fucking chance. Yeah. I mean, there are people that are like that, right? Like, I could argue that I'm kind of like that. I'm like, I don't do my best work unless you make me. You put my back against the wall, I'll fucking cut your throat out. Like, I'll fuck you up. But if there's space to fuck up, I'm gonna fuck up. Who knows? Like, who knows? Anybody's ball game. But when there's no margin for error, when there's no room for mistakes, I don't fucking make them.
He's like, I'm there, just running it. He's out there.
I'm serious. Like, I'm serious. But if there is room, like, that's why I can lose to people that aren't as good as me. I'm like, oh, there's a lot of room here. What is this? What's that, an arm bar? Psh, ain't arm bar shit. Next thing you know, you're in, like, a shoulder lock, right? And you're like, oh, fuck, I forgot you can switch that off. It's better than I thought. Like,
So he can move.
it's stupid. But if I think that you're as good or better than me, you just don't get the opportunity to ever get the arm. Because I know if you get it, you'll take it. You'll win.
It's over.
So maybe Mr. Martin knows that that's a part of his personality.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a bad time to fight him. Maybe Neil should have been like, wait a second. How many fights does he have in his contract? I don't want to be his job interview fight. Like,
Right.
I know what this guy does.
I come in, I decision you. I will
But
decision
every
you.
fight is your job interview fight. Every fight is your fucking audition fight. Because you're auditioning, you're fighting for the next job. Do you know what I'm saying? You're auditioning for the next thing.
Yeah.
You're not just putting on a show for, like, these are my current skills. You're also trying to tell people, like, make sure you watch me next time. In my next adventure, I'll be, you know, like, you're essentially trying to be their fucking hero.
So be whooping that.
You get them to follow.
Whooping that dude's butt.
Like, you want to make them follow your adventures, you know?
Yeah.
Like, that's what we do. We follow these people. Like, it's funny that that's what they call it in social media, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, at first, people were, like, against that term. I remember that. Like, people were like, oh, maybe follow isn't the right thing to use. And it's like, no, that's what you're doing.
I'm listening in.
That's what you're doing. You're not friends. That's not really accurate. It's more accurate that you are following them.
Stalking.
It would be creepy if you had, or tracking. You could say tracking too,
Yeah.
but tracking sounds creepier because of, like, it sounds like you're gonna shoot them at the end.
Consuming them. You're consuming them.
Whoa.
That's true, though. You are.
No.
You are consuming them. You
Though
consume.
they do say that they say that cannibalism, right, is an expression of love, and like you can track that into language,
Yeah.
like when a fucking woman talks about eating up a baby, like, oh, he's so cute, I could just eat him up. It's like there's something there in the language that like the highest form would be to like consume them. And like there are known cannibals, especially this Japanese guy who was obsessed with this lady who wanted to eat her.
Yeah, there's that guy who he killed that lady and ate her, and now he still lives in Japan. There's the guy who ate the ball sack.
Free as a bird.
Yeah, free as a bird, just able to do interviews.
Free as a bird. I hope everyone knows that. I hope people know that in Japan you can eat a woman
Well,
and go to the grocery store.
to be fair, to be very fair, it was one of the, it was back in the day. It was in a different country.
It was back in the day.
It was back in the day. It was when social media didn't exist. It was in a different country, and where nationalism was a stronger value back then. So that's why it did. That's why he didn't go to jail.
Dude, you can't eat ladies.
Just saying. That didn't happen in Japan. It happened in France. So it must be because of those them sissy French. No,
Oh, it was a Japanese guy, right?
yeah, it was a Japanese guy in France though, but he is from Japan. He is like he was born and raised in Japan. Moved to France for I think it was for some learning or something like that. Fell in love with one of his classmates. Then decided obsessed over eating her. And then they deported him back to Japan. But once he got back to Japan, they're like, "Hey man, it didn't happen on our watch. So you're cool. Go do whatever you want to do."
I forgot. Yes, I'm so glad you know this story.
Yes, I am as messed up too.
I forgot everything except for he ate her.
Yeah.
I forgot everything else.
Yeah. There was a suitcase. He tried to throw it in a park full of sunbathers, and that just opened up.
With woman parts in it.
Yeah, it's like smells, dude. What's wrong with you? It smells in here. What's with this? What's wrong with this?
Dude,
Nothing.
that's so hectic.
Nothing. There's the other guy who I think the guy who lost his mind in Canada and then like just slaughtered a bunch of people on the bus. Like he's out free walking around. So you got a lot of people walking around. That's just that's gone great.
Man, that's crazy.
But you know,
wait, they just showed a graphic. I'm sorry, we just have to say this out loud.
Okay.
So they're talking about like the greatest female athletes. They're building up a case to put like Amanda Nunes as like the 2-time UFC champion, right?
Mm-hmm.
And so they mentioned all these women. They showed Simone Biles and like a brief resume. 4 gold medals in the Olympics. 4 Olympic gold medals. 26-time world champion. Just like,
Yeah.
what a ridiculous stat! And like, what a ridiculous stat! Like, how shitty are all of us at everything else? Like she's been the best in the whole world at something 26 fucking times. Like 26 times. I'm gonna go fucking stab myself in the chest. I was gonna do a private in a little bit, but now it's pointless. Like, it's pointless. I should just stab myself in the chest. What's it called? What's the Japanese samurai thing when they stab themselves? I need to commit this.
I think somebody has to come up behind you to get for you to get some honor. They have to cut your head off at the same time.
God damn it.
Yeah, like it's not just like stab yourself. It's like
These are a lot of requirements.
It's like you stab yourself and then immediately, like it has to be swift. They cut your head off. Like it's swift. Like you go goop goop like that, right? Like it's like it has to happen in that order. I know it sounded like I said some racial slurs, but I didn't.
It sounds like that.
It sounds like that. It's like,
but it was more. Yeah, but that's not what you did.
Shush.
But in the current times, you need to be more careful, Anthony.
Seppuku.
You need to be more cautious about your language. I'm worried about you.
Oh, Hariki was Hariki. Hariki.
Or Harakiri.
Harakiri. That's not really racist right now. Harakiri. Abdominal belly cutting. So what's the one where they cut your head off at the same time?
Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. You stab yourself in the belly.
Yeah, so
yeah, that's the fucking hard one, dog. That's when you bleed out. It sucks. You suffer to death. That's what I deserve right now. for not being 26-time world champion like Simone Biles.
Oh, so then Casey has to be the Kaka. I don't know how to pronounce this name. How to pronounce the nation of this? He has to be the guy that cut your head off.
Yeah, I'll talk to him about this.
Pronunciation.
I'll be like,
How
I'll be like, yo, if I had to stab myself in the chest, would you fucking cut my head off? He'll be like, yeah, dude.
Kaishaku.
He won't even hesitate.
He has to be a Kaishaku.
That's awesome. That should be his nickname.
Kaishaku. It's
Instead of King of Cats.
Casey Kaishaku Smith.
That actually sounds kind of good.
Yeah, but then he would be Asian. It would be Japanese appropriation.
Just make that his last name.
Yeah, Casey Kaishaku.
I behead people.
Yeah, is a person.
Dude, that's a good story.
Yeah,
I'm gonna fuck with that.
But
I'm gonna fuck with that.
But basically, it's like you're basically like the guy who does assisted suicide. So you live in North Dakota. You're not really doing a whole lot for your life. You have to wait for other people to off themselves so you can help out. So you're kind of like the second fiddle to like what's going on in life.
Well, that's only part of the story. But what you really do is cut people's heads off.
That is what. That is.
So
what
someone said, "What do you do?" I was like, "Oh, I cut off the heads of people."
Yeah, but that's
like what? I cut people's heads off. That's what I do.
Yeah, it's more. It's more.
I do.
It's more like an assisted suicide.
No. You're splitting hairs. What do I do? I cut heads off. Like the other, I mean, like you could go with the executioner, but you don't want to be fucking with Bernard Hopkinson's like gimmick. Like that's Bernard Hopkins.
Yeah. So
you can't be that. Anyone else that tried to be the executioner is a fucking douchebag just for trying to steal Bernard Hopkins' gimmick. But we found another name that has a nice little ring to it paired with his first name. That means I cut your fucking head off. Oh no, there's something there.
Yeah, you can also.
I smell money, Anthony.
That's true. You could.
Pro wrestling promoter in me. This should be a cigar instead of a joint. I'd be like, I smell money.
There you go.
That's good shit. That's good shit.
Michael Jordan size cigars. I mean, you could really tell a story like this as like he's actually a man who has to help.
That was my Vince McMahon.
No. You gotta tell it better. You gotta give him a story of being a sensitive but powerful warrior. You don't understand, Darren. You're in the wrong era. You're thinking of the 1990s and possibly the 1980s, where I wasn't a person.
Yeah.
Where I wasn't a person. And so the times have changed.
That's when life was good, Anthony.
I know,
before you came along.
I understand. What are we trying to do here? We're not trying to time travel. We're not trying to go to the past. We're trying to make money. So all I'm saying is, this is how it should be done. You should tell a story as his job is to kill people who have dishonored their family. But the way he does it is different. He doesn't let them kill themselves first. As they reach for the blade, he cuts their head off. Sorry, guys, I'm a little too excited. But secretly, in the back of his mind, he knows, I did the right thing right there. That's the story that you have to tell for Casey. Casey's a man of honor.
That's fucking brilliant.
There you go.
That's fucking brilliant. Anthony, give me a piece of weird news, for I must prep for my private.
Where did it go?
Private lesson, you perverts.
Will of Tiger King star's missing husband forged. So Carol Baskin's husband's will
fucking Carol Baskins
was forged. They figured out with two people two experts, what's it called? Scenographers, choreographers.
Are charges filed?
No, because it's past the what's it
So
called?
who figured this out? Some reporters?
Let's see. Two experts had confirmed that Jack Don Lewis is a forgery. Lewis is period 97. Basically, I guess it was two experts.
But like, you know what I'm saying? But like, were the experts assigned this piece of this document by like the fucking police?
Yeah, I'm sure that's what happened.
Or did somebody say, "Hey, here's this document.
I'm pretty sure
we're
that's
gonna
what
give it to
happened.
two experts and write an article."
I'm pretty sure that's what happened. They were assigned to it by the police because after that documentary was over, they did say that they were opening up, the case again for that.
Oh no, Carol Baskins is going down.
Yeah, so. See,
this is the thing, man. You can't kill people and then fucking sign up to do a Netflix documentary about how you might have killed them. You can't fucking do that. Like, I mean, I feel like
you're simplifying.
Am I taking crazy pills?
No,
am I fucking insane?
I think you're simplifying
you
it.
Can't. I'm simplifying it. Look,
Yeah.
dude, if I killed a motherfucker and then somebody came up to me and was like, yo, we like to make a movie about your life, I'd be like, no thanks. Because at some point they're going to ask me, hey, did you kill Billy? And I'm going to be like, Billy who? And then they're going to tell you a story about how I might have killed Billy. Like, and they're going to have me looking stupid. Like, no matter what. Like, honestly, if someone said, can we do a story about your life? And I said yes. They could make it look like I killed my girlfriend. Like, they can make it look that way. Like, look, I'm going to mysteriously go out of town, man. I leave town. And when I come back, I don't mean to be laughing. Like, I'm just saying. Like, they'd be like, well, what happened with James? And I'd be like, well, I left town. And when I came back, as soon as I walked in the door, I got the phone call that she'd passed. And they'd be like, oh, really? They'd be like, we have an alternative theory.
I mean,
like, all of a sudden, there'd be thousands of people writing letters about how I probably fucking killed her. And I didn't even do that. Now, imagine if I did. Imagine if I fucking killed my husband, stole his money, bought a bunch of tigers, and fucking forged his will and shit. Like, why would you say, for sure, let's do this Netflix documentary?
Couldn't you literally just, like, pull up a picture of, like, you at a seminar that day or that week or whatever that was? Like, literally, couldn't you just be like, don't they do that at every jiu-jitsu seminar ever?
This one's so fun. I swear to God, dude, it's the perfect storm. Like it's obvious that I didn't do this, right? Like, I personally don't even know how it was done, how she passed.
Yeah.
Just that she passed, and I did that on purpose because I never wanted to picture it.
Mm-hmm.
But there are no pictures of me training because when we started the drive to New Jersey, where we were going, there was a freakish snowstorm. So a 7.5 hour drive took us 15 hours. And when we got there, everything in Jersey was shut down. So all we did was stay in a fucking room. We stayed with Dallas's sister. So the only person that can vouch for me is like a friend's sister.
Yeah.
But like no one else saw us until like the following day where we got to train one time and then drove back to Ohio. I'm just saying. If you wanted to be like, da, 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 you could probably just like drum up some weird story where I did that. And that everybody, since only a couple people have to lie, it's not that hard.
Maybe.
I'm just saying.
Maybe.
And I still wouldn't do it. Right? I just wouldn't be like, yeah, tear apart my life and tell everyone everything. I wouldn't do that. Now if I fucking killed my husband.
You gotta have your dreams.
I certainly wouldn't.
Gotta have your dreams.
Oh, wow. I mean, yeah, some people's dream is to be a Netflix fucking villain for the rest of their lives. And
own a bunch of tigers.
Carol fucking Baskins.
Carol Baskins. Did it? Put it. We gotta play the song for Carol Baskins as we leave this episode. Let's see.
Carol Baskins. I can't believe she made it onto the podcast. Like, at least everyone else did Tiger King a long time ago. They're probably sick of it. But I'm sure they all are talking about her again. Carol fucking Baskins. That poor lady.
Carol Baskin killed her husband, whacked him. Can't convince me that it didn't happen. Fed him.
I've never heard this.
They snacking. What's happening? Carol Baskin.
Oh my God.
You gotta watch the video though.
Anthony. Anthony,
Carol
I hate
Baskins.
I appreciate you for making this episode happen.
Yeah.
I appreciate the people who listened and watched to this episode. I fucking love each and every one of you. Soon, we will do another podcast. Like during the fight week, we will come together for another podcast, and then after that one, you probably won't see me until after Jessica I gets her hand raised on national television in front of the fucking world. Actually, I'm excited about that. I don't know if you can tell. For now, I must bid you adieu. Anthony, this is goodbye for real. Goodbye, Internet. Anthony,